folks, how you doing? How you feeling? Welcome to this week's episode of Search and Report. I am your host, True Fernie, and with me I have my good friend and fellow streamer, Rocket Art. How you doing, man?
Doing good, man. It's been a while, but happy to come back on.
Yeah, it's been a while. I think the last time you were with us was what, December?
Yeah, sometime last year for sure.
Yeah, I was 800 miles away.
Right.
Well, welcome. I want to kick off this episode with since a lot of games have been releasing. What have you been playing recently?
Honestly, just Smash. I've been getting lessons from some pros, which has been a really fun experience. They've taught me how to they've just showed me things that I wasn't even aware of. I was making like some mistakes, like getting back onto stage and just how to get a player to recognize my constant moves and things like that. So Smash has been my constant game. I've been playing Fall Guys every once in a while.
Oh, really?
I've been downloading some different games on Game Pass for Xbox. So yeah, that's all I've been really doing. I haven't had much time, honestly, since I've been working two jobs. But now that I have one job, I've given myself more time to explore some different games. Hopefully, find something different that I would like. One game that you've been playing, the Poke RPG. I'm hoping I can the MMO. I hope I can pick up soon.
Poke MMO.
Yeah, Poke MMO.
I play that one whenever work is really slow. Because I'm already on my laptop. It's fun, but it is a little janky.
Yeah,
because it's definitely a fan game.
Right.
But I wanted to watch that. I saw that you were training with what was his name? On Smash.
He used to go by Best Nest, but no, he's called Sen. And he was actually telling me he was competing in a Smash tourney called Dungeon in Colorado. He's in the top 32 right now. No surprise there. And so he's projected to win the whole thing. So he's probably one of the best Nest players. Another Nest player that I trained with, his name's Austin. He's the best in Texas. And this guy Sen, he's the best in Utah, but he's known to win several online tourneys this past year, and it just feels good to just get to know some of these people, to befriend them, and hopefully I get to meet them in person one day if I go to a local.
That's sick, man. Yeah. I was meaning, when I saw that notification pop up, I was like, wait, who is he training with? Like, if Art, you're already a very good Smash player, and when I saw that, I was like, it's got to be someone super famous, because like, you're just not taking lessons from just anyone.
It's funny, just like how I guess you don't kind of realize how famous they are in the Smash world, and then when you meet them, it's like you just think of it as if like, it's just another person just like you, and you're just getting to know them and things like that.
Yeah. Oh, that's sick, man.
They're really down to earth people.
Nice. Wow. And I didn't know Fall Guys still had a player base.
Yeah. I think it's on its 4th season right now. So, and I think it's a futuristic theme. That's why I kind of got back into it, because I like the theme of it, and I wanted to see what it was like. And it's still very difficult. I still haven't won a crown yet, but I'm hoping to win a crown at some point.
Nice. Yeah, man, it's a great game. I just wish I wish it stayed on top. I mean, I've seen a lot of tournaments based around it. I always see like Twitch Rivals and all those events, and it's mostly focused around Fall Guys.
Right,
but that's good.
Have you beaten Resident Evil Village yet?
Yeah, I did. I've been trying to like. I used to actually script out all the reviews of the games that I beat, but that takes forever. And honestly, like, reviews, I don't know, that I don't necessarily watch reviews until I beat the games. So I was just thinking, like, this is probably something I don't want to like invest a lot of time in. But I did do like a quick review on the last podcast. It's really good, man. It's a really good Resident Evil game. it just wasn't scary. Like I don't know, it didn't scare me as much like as past Resident Evil games did, and I think it has a lot to do with the camera.
Right.
I just don't know, like first person just doesn't work for me with horror games. I used to, and also I used to like what really scared me a lot from the past Resident Evil games was the fixed cameras where you can't really see around the corner and you don't have control over the camera, so that just, you know, that made it way more scarier, and I just wish they would go back to that. But it's still a really fun game. It is really fun. And I was like, I guess I've been missing out because I always thought Resident Evil games were stressful. I didn't know there was a lot of puzzle elements to it. I didn't know there was a lot of just exploration to it. It's really fun. Yeah, so I definitely recommend it, but get it like on a sale or something.
For sure. That's definitely something I wanted to, like, I've never been a horror person at all, so like I don't even touch them, but when I hear about the story and if I hear it's like good, then I kind of get invested into it. So that's why I was watching you, and I was like, this is not really scary at all. Like, this is weird for a Resident Evil game, you know? No,
and it's like half of the game is on like when it's daylight, so you're like, I can see the monsters coming like a mile away, like, so that's not really scary. And I think I remember seeing reading an interview with the I don't remember, I think it was the main producer or something of the Resident Evil games, and they said like apparently people said that Resident Evil 7 was too scary for them, that they literally did not enjoy it as much, so that they say they took that feedback with this new Resident Evil game and kind of implemented it. But I was like, don't take it away, don't take all the horror out of it, because that's a huge I don't know, element of a Resident Evil game.
For sure.
But besides that, I mean, it's fun, man. It's a fun game. It's the story is pretty, I mean, it's pretty cheesy as any horror game. Any horror based anything is kind of cheesy in my opinion, but it's still pretty cool. And besides that, I'm just been trying to finish new Pokemon Snap. Haven't beaten it. I'm playing Pokemon Shield. I'm playing the DLC. Do you find yourself like playing a game you don't necessarily like a lot, but you just want to finish it? Like, am I crazy? Like, I just want to finish games.
Yeah, Pokemon Sword is definitely one of them. Like, I go back every once in a while to the DLC. Like, I can't get over the corny dialogue and some of the characters that are just very annoying, but because it's a Pokemon game and I grew up on Pokemon games, it's like I just feel like I have to beat it.
Yeah, so I'm forcing myself through the DLC. I just finished the Isle of Armor. Now I got to do the Crown Tundra.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm not saying I hate Pokemon, but at the same time, it's like, it's kind of like a chore. I was like, I just got to finish it. So I've been trying to beat that.
And you can definitely tell that game feels rushed, like as far as like development goes. So I'm kind of scared for Arceus, but we'll see.
Oh man. Oh yeah, that's something I haven't touched on, which we can just add into this, since this is going to be one of the first topics of the podcast. We finally got release dates for Pokemon Arceus and what is it, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl?
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
Honestly, Shining Pearl and what's the other one called? See, I don't even know the titles.
It's Brilliant Diamond.
Yeah, Brilliant Diamond coming out in November. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not expecting like anything different than the originals, honestly, other than the 3D world and stuff like that. But I'm sure E3 will get more specifics on those two games. Yeah. And I'm excited for Arceus in January, but I think once again we'll get more info on what it's like in January. And again, I feel like that's too soon. That's not something I expected. I thought it would be coming out like late next year, and then suddenly it's like this year and next year. I'm just like, so I'm not sure what your thoughts on that are on that.
I don't mind. Well, I mean, besides the whole issue with the remakes, people saying that why are they making it chibi style? Like, it takes away a lot from it. I like it. I like chibi style. I don't know why.
Me too.
I liked Link's Awakening. I don't know. I don't think, is that chibi style? Link's Awakening, the remake.
I feel like that's more like claymation.
Claymation, yeah.
Yeah.
But I just don't know. I like these cute ass art styles. I just don't know. I just like it. I like it because it's a Pokemon game. Like,
yeah, it's a different take on the game, and you know, like I think Wind Waker was definitely like one of the out of the blue changes to the art style to any Zelda game, but it turned out to be my favorite Zelda game of all time. So
yeah, exactly. And like besides that whole controversy with the art style, I'm just a little worried about them being released so close together. Mostly because I don't know if I take my time with Pokemon games. So when Arceus comes out, I'm probably still gonna be playing the remakes. But I'm just a little worried because I don't know if you remember Arceus when it was first showed. The animations were really rough. The game looked rough. It looked really, really rough. And I know the devs make like these little demos for the trailers, which are like 8 months old. So like what we were shown that day is probably like a few months old, and at least I hope that they've made some improvements to it. But I'm just worried because if that's how it's gonna look at the end of the day, with the Pokemon's running on like 3 FPS when you run up to them, and like some of the shadows looking so jaggedy, I'm like, oh man, I'm just worried. I'm worried that the game might not be finished, and they might just be they might be rushing it. And I'm like, at the same time, why are you releasing it so early? Like, I don't know. I think you should let your games breathe a little bit, especially with Arceus being. I mean, I don't know if the Pokemon Company considers the remakes like a mainline Pokemon. I mean, there are mainline Pokemons, but they're remakes at the end of the day. I don't know if it would have made more sense to release first Arceus and then wait for a little while and then do the remakes, or the other way around, but just giving both games a little breathing room. But that's my main concern. I'm just worried about Arceus and just how rough it's been looking. So that's why I brought up this first news topic. But Switch Pro, like literally, I feel every single month it's something new with the Switch Pro, and I'm honestly getting tired of it. At the point where I'm just like, just release it. I'm like, I just want to get it out of the way. I'm just tired of it, of constantly talking about it. But I don't know if you've been caught up with the Nintendo Switch Pro news, but Bloomberg did release like a whole article about it. I don't know if you read it, saying that there was like the Switch Pro was meant to be released, was about to be announced prior to E3. And people this whole week were waiting for the announcement. They're like, literally, I think on Wednesday was when the hype was at its peak, and people were going crazy. People were like just refreshing Twitter every so often. And when I say people, I mean me. So yeah, but there were a lot of reports. People ran with it because Bloomberg is supposedly a trustworthy news source, which I don't know about anymore at this point, because they've been reporting on this for like a year and a half and there's still nothing from Nintendo. But yes, I was listening to this other podcast. I don't know if you know Nate the Hate.
No, I've never heard of it.
Do you know Spawnwave?
I think I've heard of that.
Yeah, so he's Nate the Hate. He's a weekly guest in the Spawnways podcast, and he released a hour and a half podcast episode on his own with MVG, Modern Vintage Gamer, who is a developer for the Switch, and they spoke about the Nintendo Switch Pro rumors, and especially with this Bloomberg article that came out, saying that the Switch Pro, like the announcement is imminent. It's supposed to happen before E3. And Nate the Hate went into this whole he's an insider, so to speak, with Nintendo, and well, in just the video game world, not just Nintendo. And they said that the main reason why they were going to announce the Switch Pro before E3 was because a lot of developers want to showcase their games with the Switch Pro in mind. You know, Switch Pro supposedly has, it's obviously going to be a little bit more powerful. It's going to have 4K, the ability to upscale to 4K. It's going to be an OLED, a mini OLED screen, which will make just the handheld look a lot way better. So that was like the biggest rumor this whole week, saying that the Switch Pro was going to be announced for those developers to be able to showcase the way that their games are supposed to be showcased on E3 without having to limit themselves to the base Switch. But nothing happened. Nothing happened this week. So people are so upset. People directed so much hate to Nate the Hate, which at the end of the day, he did come out and say, let me just share my screen right here.
Yeah, sure.
Let me bring it up first, though. I actually feel bad for the guy because he's doing his best. He's just an insider. You gotta take it with a grain of salt. Like, nobody actually knows everything that there's to be known about. Nintendo is a very what do you call it? I don't know. How would you describe Nintendo as far as like a company, a video game company?
Selective, secretive, I don't know.
Yeah, secretive.
Honestly, the thing is with Nintendo, oops, I always set my expectations way low. Like,
yeah,
I never expect anything amazing from them. I just prefer to be surprised, like, if they actually announce anything new, whether it's a new Pokemon game with new Pokemon, or like the new Animal Crossing game, a new Zelda game, obviously. So I'm just not holding my breath until E3 comes around. So that's when all those rumors were coming out. I was just thinking, like, nothing's gonna happen, guys. Like, absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Just wait till E3. Like, even at E3, still expect but just put your expectations way low for like just indie games or something like that. But no, E3 is a huge deal, and I feel like Nintendo has to announce at least one big rumor, whether it's Breath of the Wild 2 or the Switch Pro. I think at least one of those two things will come out. Worst case scenario, at least an Animal Crossing 2.0 update. But other than that, that's it. I'm only going to expect one of those three things out of E3.
Yeah.
For Nintendo.
And see, that's why you're smarter than me, because you just don't expect anything. I was man, when people said that, when these rumors started come out, and people saying like it might be, they started going back and say like, oh, the 3DS was announced on like this day of the week, or you remember when the NX was finally announced this day of the week, and like saying that, oh, but you got to think about Japan time, their the time difference, blah blah blah. I was like, I pinpointed and said like Thursday at midnight is when they're gonna announce it.
Yeah.
I stayed up till midnight waiting for that announcement, and I hated myself. Yeah, it brought back memories of just trying to get PS5, just waiting till like midnight for a drop. But here, Nate the Hate did kind of, he stepped back and said, I want to emphasize that this statement only represents me and in no way dismisses info of other outlets. Due to ongoing conversations and discussions over the course of the week, I have considerably less confidence that an announcement will take place ahead of E3. This doesn't mean that an announcement cannot happen. I simply do not know. I'm being open, honest, transparent with everyone, and sharing that recent conversations and new information have me doubting a pre-E3 announcement. Some of the information I had and was confident in no longer looks as solid as it did a week ago. Cracks formed due to inaccurate and inconsistent info and misunderstanding of accurate info. With expectations high, I want to address this in a direct and prompt manner. Blah blah. He just basically says that he doesn't believe that a Switch Pro is going to get announced this week, and I mean pre E3. Well, yeah, this week, because E3 is what, Thursday. Yeah. So, yeah, man. I got bamboozled again, but at the same time, like, this makes me believe that Nintendo. I honestly feel that Nintendo was gonna announce the Switch Pro this week, but I think they backtracked a little bit, and I'm only seeing it in the form of well, first of all, the Nintendo Switch is not going to stop being a top selling console. It's going to outsell the PS5 and the Xbox Series X up until the holiday, especially with new games coming out.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, Nintendo's been very, very good about releasing games pretty consistently. I don't think we've gone longer for like 2 or 3 months without a first party title from Nintendo coming out on the Switch.
For sure.
And I feel that especially with the chip shortage going on around the whole tech world, I feel that they saw just how difficult, because the reports about it being in production currently, those still hold. Apparently, Bloomberg is still saying that they started production sometime, or I think they're going to start production in June and July on the Switch Pro. But I think they just saw just how well the Switch is doing, that they're like, yo, maybe we can hold off this revision for a little while. Like, the Switch is not going to stop selling like hotcakes anytime soon. And I feel they don't want to land into the same situation that the PS5 and Xbox Series X find themselves in, with like not being able to supply retailers with their consoles. So I don't know. At the same time, Nintendo, these things change quickly, especially if it's just an announcement. Like, they'll just say, no, maybe we'll announce it after E3, or maybe we'll announce it like 2 months later. Like, these things change so fast. But yeah, I mean, it's a little disappointing, but at the same time, I just want it out so I can stop talking about it and move on and focus on Breath of the Wild 2.
I just feel bad for this guy. I can't imagine how he feels towards Nintendo now. He probably won't like try to leak or spread any rumors about Nintendo anymore. He's just going to focus more on Xbox and PlayStation if those are two consoles he covers.
Yeah, he does. I mean, no shade to Nate the Hate, but I mean, these things happen. If you're an insider, like, information gets lost in the lines of communication. But at the same time, this is why I don't like reporting on rumors, because these things happen. And like, you can't blame the companies, the video game companies, because it ultimately is their final decision. It is whenever Nintendo comes out and says, hey, we're going to release it on September. You can't be the first on these type of things, because you lend yourself to a criticism, unfortunately. But I mean, so far the other reports haven't been not true. It's been like a year since the last Bloomberg report, where they said that Nintendo was already in talks with screen manufacturers or display manufacturers about implementing the Switch Pro with a mini OLED display. They're already in talks with Nvidia about upgrading, being able to do AI upscaling for 4K. So the Switch Pro exists. If anybody tells me otherwise, I will cry, because I don't know if I can handle that anymore.
We'll get at some point, just like, obviously not now. Who knows, E3? If not E3, we'll definitely get it sooner or later.
Yeah, and I'm not too worried, man. Like, honestly, first party titles on the Switch look pretty all right as is. I was playing I don't want to give Pokemon Shield its praises, because I don't think it deserves it, but whatever. I was playing it on the TV. I never played it on. I never play my Switch on the TV. I always play it on my using a capture card.
Okay.
Just watching it through my computer. But I went to my TV. Well, my girlfriend's TV. She has a better TV than I do, and I was impressed. Like, the Pokemon Shield looks pretty all right on a big screen TV. It's
for sure.
It's really smooth. I was like, FPS is pretty smooth. I don't know if it might have been like some smoothing from the TV, but I was pretty impressed. And I've been playing, obviously, Breath of the Wild on the TV. It looks great. So I don't know if a revision is what Nintendo is gonna do. Not even this year. I don't know. I just don't know anymore. But we'll see. We shall see. So we'll move on to the next news item of the week. which is, this one was pretty controversial. I don't know if you heard about this. So you remember when the next gen consoles, Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5 were being announced, a huge point of contention, or like point of discussion, was that cross-gen. Xbox went pretty ham on saying like, we believe in generations, and like, all of our games are gonna be cross-gen, and you know, we don't want to let people who have an Xbox One X behind, etc., etc. Well, Sony, they saw just the backlash that Xbox got online, and I feel that they kind of said like, no, all of our next gen games are going to be strictly next gen. We're not going to make any of these games for PS4. You know, there's a huge controversy surrounding Forza. There was a trailer. I don't really remember. I'm not a big fan of racing games, but when they released the trailer or the announcement for the Forza game, it said exclusively for PS5. And now apparently it's not. Now apparently it's also coming out for the PS4, as well as God of War, and as well as a Horizon Forbidden West. And people are now very, very upset because obviously PlayStation lied. Well, Sony lied. It's a really shady form of marketing, in my opinion.
It's like they got a PS5 for no reason.
Exactly. Like, yeah, it's like, why are we getting PS5s if like, I don't care. I much prefer cross-gen games, because if I didn't have a PS5, I would be very upset about not being able to play these games. So, and at the same time, it's more, I mean, it's a wider reach for your game. You get more money, you can produce the next game, so that's always good.
Right.
But yeah, it's just a little shady, the marketing tactics, because it is basically false advertising. And another thing that people are really worried about this is that the games that are being developed for the PS5, well, games such as God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, they've been developed with the PS5 in mind, but at the same time, they have to fit. They have to be able to be playable on the PS4, and that's kind of bring this. I feel that's going to bring the level, or at least it limits just how good these games might be able to be played, or they might be able to look, because all these games are now being developed with the PS4 in mind, and that's my only concern. Like, I don't want to play a PS4 game on a PS5 anymore. Right. A huge part of me getting a PS5 is to get a better experience, to get the next gen experience. And now this is also a huge issue as well, because the PS4, I think the biggest issue with the PS4 has always been the hard drive. It's not as fast as an SSD. Your games take forever to load. Assets take forever to load. So I feel now that all these games are being developed for both consoles, like, the only variant now is going to be loading times, not so much a fidelity. Like, if I can play this on the PS4, why should I wait for the PS5 version? So yeah, I don't know.
It's just a matter of patience of whether, like, do I have the time to sit through loading times or no? Like,
exactly.
That's it.
So well, let's go through the article here on videogameschronicle.com. Here they say, forget business sense. Sony's cross-gen U-turn is disappointing for PS5's potential. Last year, PlayStation architect Mark Cerny held a lengthy PS5 tech talk in which he explained why accommodating last-gen hard drives can sabotage the game that the developer is trying to create. And that's exactly why many users are disappointed by the news that Sony's upcoming blockbusters will target cross-gen releases, which is just what I said. Tucked away, and also the way this thing leaked is super shady as well. Tucked away in the middle of a new interview with PlayStation studio boss Herman Holst, published on Wednesday, was a bombshell that two of Sony's flagship next-gen games. I'm sorry, I was saying Forza. I meant Gran Turismo. Forza is a Microsoft game.
We just think like all racing games are the same, since we don't play them. So.
Exactly. It's just, you know, it's just a
vroom, vroom.
driving vroom vroom simulator. And the next God of War are also in development for PS4. Along with Horizon Forbidden West, that means that virtually all the PlayStation's biggest upcoming games, except Ratchet and Clank, are now confirmed to be cross-gen titles. To be clear, this isn't a new strategy for Sony. PS5 launch games Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and Sackboy were also released across console generations. What's surprising is the drastic U-turn this represents of a company that 12 months ago was signing the virtues of believing in generations and deriding HDDs, hard drives, as holding back game creation. Oh man, yeah, here it is. You can see the screenshot right here. When they announced this game, it was going to be a PlayStation 5 exclusive, which is now a huge lie. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on this? Like, as a non-Sony, well, I don't know if you were a non-Sony player. You're on the other side. You're at Microsoft.
I am, but I am a huge fan of the Final Fantasy and the Kingdom Hearts series. That kind of makes me worried for the sequels to that, because I'm myself, you know, just as a fan of both those series. I don't know whether I should. I mean, I don't have a PS4, so it's just like either. So it makes me think like when I should make the jump to PS5. Like so far, the exclusives haven't been really appealing to me, other than 16, which I think is going to come out for Xbox too, because so far Square Enix has been releasing a lot of their games on Xbox also. It makes me wonder about what I don't know if this is a different topic or not, but the threat that Sony or PlayStation made, like not working with the other developers that are willing to do.
Yeah, that's a huge one.
Releasing their games on other consoles.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that was also a very weird thing to read about, because for everybody that doesn't know, there's this, I don't know if it was a rumor report, but apparently Sony kind of threatened developers who were thinking about working with Microsoft specifically. They were going to be blacklisted from their consoles. If I'm not mistaken, I know you might heard differently, Art. But that just felt very weird, because Square Enix is a flagship Sony developer, and you're like,
yeah.
So you're telling your biggest developer that you're not going to work with him? That doesn't make a lot of sense, because
that would be a huge blow to Sony.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah. I think Sony is riding the wave right now. They think that because the PS5 is being outsold everywhere, that they think they're the kings right now of gaming, when in essence it's because there's not enough PS5s, and because scalpers and bots are all buying the PS5s.
Right. I just hope when it comes to E3, their ego just doesn't come to them, and it doesn't, like, I don't know, just ruin all expectations. But so, because what's it called? Horizon Forbidden West looks really good. Yeah, that's something I would probably get a PS5 for if I hear great reviews from like other gamers. Yeah. But as of now, with the way things are with Sony, it's making me not want to purchase a PS5 at the moment. So we'll see what E3 comes around, if these rumors are true, or whether they're not and they just make it, you know, PlayStation 5 exclusive. Then I might be more interested to purchase one.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's a little it's becoming harder and harder to tell people that I'm enjoying my PS5, because there's not even the fundamentals for me to enjoy it. I mean, we are Nintendo gamers, like, more than Xbox or PlayStation by far. And I mean, I think we've noticed a trend of us talking more about Nintendo than Xbox and PlayStation all the time, because
there's not much to play on either of those consoles yet, even though we still own them. So
yeah, I mean that's a huge plus for Nintendo. But I don't know, just like all the games I've been playing currently on my PS5 are all games that I could be playing on my PS4. Like it's become very hard for me to say. People come up to me all the time and they say like, well, friends come up to me and say like, hey man, like, should I get the PS5 or should I get the Xbox Series X? Like, because they see that I talk a lot about gaming. I'm like, honestly, man, just wait till next year. Like, in good conscience, I can't tell you get a PS5 because all the games that I've been playing on the PS5, I could have played on the PS4. And like there just hasn't been a next gen. To me, there's still no next gen console because there's still no next gen games, in my opinion, except for like a few here and there, like Returnal and everything. But yeah, it's a little worrisome the way that Sony is kind of like taking away the bad guy crown from Nintendo. I mean,
actually,
as a Nintendo fan, it's great though.
Yeah. I actually have two friends that just purchased a Nintendo Switch recently.
Really?
over a PS5 and Xbox Series.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So, and when they told me, they're like, "What games should I get?" And then it took me probably over an hour to respond, and they texted me back, "Oh, never mind," because they ended up just downloading like a whole library of games, mostly Mario, obviously, but those are the ones that people grew up with like this whole time, and they're still, constantly just outselling the other developers. So
yeah, it's a little, yeah. I don't know. I wish PlayStation was a little bit more transparent with this. The way they've marketed the PS5. Obviously it's a company, like they just want to sell systems. They just want to make money. I know, but it still feels a little weird being sold the console by saying like it's got all these exclusives and then you just not be truthful about it. It's really bad. It's just a bad look for Sony. But yes, that's a huge issue right now on the Sony end of things. We are getting Ratchet and Clank though this week, which I'm really excited for. I don't know if you've seen the trailer for it. It looks amazing.
I actually grew up with that game since the very first one. My brother would play it a lot, and then I think he's the one who stuck with it, and I kind of just followed him. Watching him playing that series.
Yeah, the game looks amazing. Yeah, I saw the gameplay trailer and it's like, you're telling me this is not cutscene? Like, it looks really, really good. The environments look very lively. The environments look very alive. There's so much happening in the background that I'm like, this is what Cyberpunk could look like. But yeah, I'm excited for that. Now for next news item, I want to go on. This is gonna be more of like a little bit more off the script. I mean, we don't really have a script for this, but I want to see where you're standing on as far as what you want to see for E3. We'll go over the schedule for this E3. We'll talk about it, see what we expect from developers, see what you're excited about, and see what you want to see. Let me just share my screen again real quick. Oh man, I gotta get this thing sorted, man. There we go. Okay, so we got the E3 2021 schedule announced here from Polygon. After a year off, E3 returns in 2021 as a reimagined all-virtual event. This year's Electronic Entertainment Expo runs June 12th through the 15th and promises appearances from Nintendo, Xbox, Capcom, Ubisoft, Square Enix, Take-Two Interactive, Warner Bros., Sega, Bandai Namco, and more. While the show won't have a physical presence, the upside is that anyone and everyone can attend E3 by watching the press conferences, digital showcases, and other live streams. The entertainment software, the ESA, The trade group that runs E3 has built a web portal and app for E3 that anybody can use and watch everything unfold. Fan registration is now live. I gotta register. Forgot about that. On Saturday, June 12th, E3 organizers say that the event will officially kick off Saturday with a broadcast pre-show at 1 p.m. Eastern Time and 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Ubisoft and Gearbox Entertainment will hold press conferences that day. Ubisoft Forward. Let me just go real quick to see what they're going to be talking about. They're going to talk about For Honor, Watch Dogs Legion. Didn't that game already come out? Watch Dogs Legion?
And what? Sorry, what was that?
The Watch Dogs Legion? Didn't that game already come out?
I think they saw there was like a teaser trailer or something, and it looked pretty good. I think that I remember that name, and seeing that title somewhere. That I think that was one game I was interested in, but I've never honestly been into anything Ubisoft.
Oh, really?
I did play a few Tom Clancy games in the past, but they were only like for a little bit. Nothing ever caught my eye from Ubisoft.
I mean, I might be having, like, I think I have my Watch Dogs confused, but I think the one that just came out is Legion. So I don't know if it's just going to be an update on the game, which at this point I think it's a dead game, unfortunately. It wasn't very good. People a bit complain about that game a lot. The main event will also feature first gameplay footage of the next Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six game. Would you say you've played Tom Clancy before, right?
Yeah, I did, way back in the old Xbox days.
Yeah. Not
even 360, but I remember I would play, not Siege, but it was another one. It was just a very stealth game, and I'm not a huge fan of stealth games, but I only got it because I had a group of Halo players I would play with.
Yeah.
Game.
We're getting games. We're getting appearances from previously announced games like Far Cry 6 and Riders Republic. We're getting new content for Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Rainbow Six Siege. And apparently they're also going to be discussing films. They got a movie coming up, Ubisoft. It's called Werewolves Within.
That's crazy.
Which is weird because this movie is not based on a game at all. Mm-hmm. They're just a movie. Apparently they have a full film and television division now, which sounds amazing, but I mean, we'll see how it goes. Didn't Assassin's Creed have a movie?
I think they announced a movie. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I remember that. But from Ubisoft, the only thing I'm excited about, I mean, not really, because I don't like the Far Cry series, but I want to see if they change anything from the Far Cry formula, is Far Cry 6. I really want to see that, especially with, I want to see one of my favorite actors on that game.
Yeah, me too.
Juan Carlos Esposito.
Yeah, he's amazing. So I can't wait to see.
He's gonna carry that game, because the Far Cry series, I hate the Far Cry games. I don't know what the appeal it is to them, but I'm excited for the story for that game.
I'll probably be watching somebody's Twitch stream and just go to like the ending, like the final boss fight against him or something like that, and see how that goes. I'm excited for that story.
And Assassin's Creed, I stopped playing Assassin's Creed a while back. I feel like all the games just repeat the same formula, that it kind of got a little stale. So I'm not really excited for anything else.
Yeah.
Is Riders Republic is that a Star Wars game?
What was that?
Is Riders Republic a Star Wars game?
It's not.
No?
Mm-mm.
I never heard of that.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. I know you're going to like this one. I know you're going to watch this Gearbox.
So I'm actually, this is my first time reading that, so I had no idea that was going to happen. So, I guess we'll see what Borderlands has to come up with, because I haven't played that game since last year. I played the last DLC campaign, and once I beat it, that was it. And then they had another DLC called Arms Race, which I played for a little bit, but then once I realized what it actually was, it was basically just getting rid of all the items, all the guns that you have, and just picking up new ones. I found no appeal for that. I was like, this kind of sucks. I I'd play another DLC, another campaign DLC, or if they like build more skill trees for the characters. We'll see what Gearbox has to announce. I think it's going to be on the Borderlands movie. I'm pretty sure they're gonna.
Oh, they're doing a movie.
Yeah, they're making a Borderlands movie.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it has Kate Blanchett as Lilith, which is a very interesting casting choice. Jack Black as Claptrap. I know. Kevin Hart as what's his name? Rold, I think. Rold is his name. Yeah. So it's gonna be a very
It just sounds
director, I'm so worried about it because the director has not directed anything amazing. So
oh man.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect from this movie.
Honestly, just from the cast, this sounds like a sequel to Jumanji.
Yeah, it does. So I'm worried about it. But
yeah.
I'm excited about the Last of Us trailer. That has great casting choices. Borderlands, not what I expected. So we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, and also, I mean, isn't Borderlands? I think all the Borderlands games they're like cell shaded, like the art style.
Yes.
Dude, I don't know. What if they implement that? I don't know. It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be live action, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be live action.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
To recreate. I hope it's good though.
Me too.
On Sunday, June 13th, we got presentations from Microsoft, Square Enix, Warner Brothers Games, and 24 Entertainment. And we're also going to get the PC Gaming Show and Future Game Show, which I do not know what the hell that means. Oh, they're websites. I remember PC Gaming. For that, I just hope we finally see Halo Infinite.
Me too.
And we get... Have they announced an actual release date? I don't think they have, right? They just said 2022?
They haven't.
Or holiday?
I'm sure it's going to be in the fall. They've released all their games in like October, or November. November has always been their like release month.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, as long as they mention Halo and they show a little bit more of it and it looks way better than the last time, I'm going to be super excited.
That's what I'm most excited about is Halo Infinite because I'm a huge fan of the franchise, and I think it'll be something finally I can use my Xbox X for.
Oh man,
most of all
this next gen, Jesus.
Yeah.
Square Enix, I'm definitely excited to see if I doubt that they'll say anything about the part 2 for Final Fantasy 7 remake, but I am excited about Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah, me too.
When they showed that trailer, I was like, finally, thank you.
Yeah. I love their style.
Oh man, so. 16 looks amazing. I'm excited for it. It's I don't know. I like the medieval kind of feeling that it's giving me, and I'm just excited for that.
I'm looking forward to having another Final Fantasy soundtrack to listen to. Most of all, so.
That's true. Yeah, I'm just excited for the combat.
Yeah, that also. I always listen to the Final Fantasy 13 and 15. Soundtracks while working out. Actually, I know that's a weird choice for workout music. Yeah, I do. But I just find them so catchy, and I don't know, they're just addicting. Yeah,
the Final Fantasy 15 soundtrack is pretty good. And then Warner Brothers Games, I'm pretty sure that they're the ones doing the Harry Potter game.
Yes.
That was meant to come.
I think it's supposed to be a MMO, so
yeah. I think it was. I think they delayed it for next year. It was supposed to come out this year, but yeah, as long as I can see some gameplay footage on that, I'm all for it because I love Harry Potter. I know I don't look like it, but I used to love. I used to read. I read like the first 5 books. I stopped after a while because I got lazy, but yeah. I love the world. I remember the game that came out for the GameCube. I don't remember which one was that one. But I used to love that game, and I love just being in the world of Harry Potter.
Yeah, I think an MMO, a Harry Potter game, is something I've been waiting for a long time. I've never been I've always been a fan of the movies. All the other content for it, I have not really any interest in. But if they come out with a solid MMO game where you get to be your own self in the Harry Potter world, I would love to explore that.
Yeah, I'll be super excited for that. Here down below, Xbox, during the Xbox presentation, we're also gonna get some Bethesda games. Is there anything you expect from Bethesda? I don't know if you're big on Bethesda games. No, me neither. Yeah.
Sorry.
I don't care. I mean, they're iconic games, but I just don't care about Bethesda games.
Yeah.
Square Enix, I guess we already went over that. Platinum Games, I am excited for Platinum Games. They always put out some really good games. We're gonna get a closer look at Life is Strange True Colors. That's a game that I wanted to play. I wanted to play Life is Strange. A lot of people say it's a really interesting kind of game, very narrative driven. And I did not know Platinum Games is doing a Marvel game. Oh, it's just it's just Square Enix. They're doing an expansion for Marvel's Avengers.
Oh god, no, that game was such a flop. Oh yeah, my goodness.
They're doing an expansion for Marvel's Avengers with on Black Panther, War for Wakanda.
I just don't understand why that didn't come out with the original.
Oh man, there's just a lot of things I don't understand about that game.
Yeah. It was a fun game, like, while I was playing it, but it wasn't enough.
No.
Mm-mm.
Oh well, you got more things to look forward for that game.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
On Monday, June 14th, we got Capcom, Take-Two, Mythical Games, Freedom Games, Razer, and unannounced indie developers will have presentations throughout the game. Unannounced indie developers, what does that mean? Does that mean that they're just starting out as developers?
I'm not sure.
Capcom and Take-Two Interactive. Capcom will deliver a presentation on Monday focusing on its upcoming slate of games. They're gonna have the Great Ace Attorney Collection, Monster Hunter Stories 2, which looks very interesting, Resident Evil 4 for the Oculus. That's gonna be great.
Oh, man. I will be terrified even put the
Resident Evil 4 is a scary game. I remember playing that one on the GameCube. That is a scary game.
Yeah, no, thanks.
And an Oculus, man, I can't even imagine hearing like the dude with the chainsaw behind me.
Seriously.
We're getting Pragmata on its release list. But Capcom is also reportedly it has more Ace Attorney and Resident Evil games in its plan, according to a leak. I remember that leak. Take-Two Interactive will also have a showcase, but there's not much about it. Tuesday, June 15th, which is the biggest day that I'm going to be looking forward to. The biggest day ever.
For sure. I hate to say this, but I have to dip out.
Oh, you got to dip out? It's all cool, man. I'll finish out here.
Appreciate for sure. I will finish on the big day.
I will. I'll finish. All right, man.
Take care.
See you, man.
All
right.
Bye.
Okay. Let me share my screen real quick. My main man, Art, had to leave. He is a father of one daughter, and you know how that is. They wake up from their naps and they gotta leave. But thank you, Art, for stopping by to the stream. I really do appreciate your the things you apported. That's not a word. The things you gave to the show. But this is the biggest one, and I'm just gonna end it after this one. I feel this is why did I just open that? I don't want to open that. Oh God, no. Oh God. Hope you didn't see that. No, that wasn't Dolphin. What? Dolphin? What the fuck is that? But Tuesday, June 15th, we are getting the Nintendo Direct. This damn Nintendo Direct that we've been waiting for so long. We're just less than a week because it just got announced like this past week. But Nintendo will hold a new Nintendo Direct presentation at E3 2020. Bro, I swear to God, my voice is getting crispier and crispier. E3 2021 on June 15, where the company plans to reveal new details on upcoming Nintendo Switch games. Nintendo will then offer a longer look at its Switch lineup. I apologize for that. In a new Nintendo Treehouse Live. Bro, what is going on with my body? I swear to God, art leaves, man. Oh, I got the hiccups now. Jesus Christ, man. Art leaves and then all of a sudden I'm exploding over here. Nintendo will then offer a longer look at its Switch lineup in a new Nintendo Treehouse Live immediately following the direct live stream. Nintendo's E3 2021 Nintendo Direct will air at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Tuesday, June 15. The company announced on Wednesday. The presentation will run roughly 40 minutes. That's a long ass Nintendo Direct, if I do say so myself. That is pretty long. So I'm excited for that. That's a lot of time. And they'll also focus on Nintendo Switch software mostly releasing in 2021, which is a whole other thing that I wanted to talk about. Nintendo saw how crazy people were getting about the Switch Pro that they literally had to put on their tweet announcing this Nintendo Direct. Yo, we're only going to focus on software. There's not going to be any talks about hardware. But this is Nintendo we're talking about. Nintendo loves to switch things up a lot. A lot, my friend. So I'm not saying there's going to be a Switch Pro announcement because there's probably not going to be one. But there's going to be a lot of surprises on this presentation. They're also going to have the Treehouse, which is going to be 3 hours, bro. It's going to be 3 hours of gameplay footage. And don't knock on Nintendo Treehouse because games have been announced on Nintendo Treehouses. I think the latest one was Samus Returns. So be on the lookout for that. You should watch. It's going to be 3 hours. It's long as fuck. I'm going to be at work. I'm probably not going to watch this until I get home, but I'm probably going to make a video on it, you know, doing a reaction or whatever. But I'm super excited. I'm super duper excited. I hope we get info on Breath of the Wild 2, even if it's just a little update. I don't care if we don't get an announcement. At this point, I think Breath of the Wild 2 is not going to release until next year, probably like in the spring, if I'm being completely honest. But at the same time, we don't have a holiday game from Nintendo. So it can be either or. It can either release on December or it can release in the spring of next year. We don't know yet. It might release with the Switch Pro. We don't know yet. So we'll see. I'm excited to find out. I'm excited to see more on Arceus. I'm really excited to see more footage on Arceus Legends, see how that plays. I'm really excited for that. I don't know if they'll focus on Super Mario Golf Rush. It's already coming out like in the week after this or that same week, so does it really matter? I don't think so. I don't think they'll focus on that. And I hope we do get some information on Metroid Prime 4, man. It's been too long. It's been too long. It's been a while. Jesus Christ, man. We need something. We need something. We already, you know, it's been like a year and some months since we got the information about them completely scrapping development on Metroid Prime 4. I can talk. Metroid Prime 4 and restarting the game. I feel we really do need some you know, a follow-up on that. But I also think they're going to focus a little bit on it. I don't know if it'll be a whole section on Nintendo Treehouse. I hope so, though. Is on Splatoon 3. I am excited for that. We did get information on the last Nintendo Direct, so it's only expected, you know, for us to get some information on that. And Bayonetta 3, where's it at, man? Where's it at? Yo, what's up? What's up with that? But we'll see. That same day, we also got Bandai Namco. Well, they'll have a showcase, but there's not enough details on it. I don't think. I mean, I don't expect much from Bandai Namco, except like I don't know. Maybe they'll talk on the what's that game? What's that anime? Demon Slayer. I don't even know if they're the ones developing. I don't know, man. I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it from the E3. Why is this? I don't want this. Why is it only showing me? Okay, whatever. That works. But that's pretty much the news for E3. Am I excited? Of course I'm excited. What are you talking about, man? What the hell are you talking about? There we go. Hi, members. I'm super excited for this E3. I don't know what to expect. I'm not gonna even expect anything. I'm ready for disappointment, man. I am super ready for disappointment. Jesus Christ, man. I've been disappointed my whole life, especially with Nintendo. But yeah, those are my predictions. But that's pretty much it for this Nintendo. I am a Nintendo show. Look at all the games I got for Nintendo, the amiibos. But that's pretty much it for the this week's search and report, folks. I've been True Fernie. Please make sure to like and subscribe. Shout out to my friend Art the Rocket. Appreciate you having on here, man. I really do. Thank you very much. Switch Pro rumors, man. I swear to God, if I keep hearing about the Switch Pro, I'm gonna lose my mind. Just release it, Nintendo, please, so we can move on. And focus on more important things. All right, like Metro Prime 4, please. But links to my socials are down below. Please make sure to follow me on Twitch, where I try and stream often. I'm not gonna promise you anything. I'm kind of, you know, taking a little bit of break from streaming because I don't know, man, just haven't seen the growth on there, to be honest, and it is a little discouraging. And I just feel like YouTube, at least the videos stay up, and like, I don't know, it just has more longevity. But I do appreciate your help. I mean, your support out on Twitch. Every single time that I'm streaming, I enjoy my time out there. I love streaming. It's a fun thing to do. I've been thinking about trying streaming on YouTube. We'll see about that. Also, please make sure to follow me on Twitter, where I yell into this void that is social media, and where I spend most of my waking hours. Like, seriously, if you really want to contact me, if you really want to talk to me, I'm probably going to be on Twitter or Discord. Which brings me to my next point. Please make sure to join our Discord, where we talk anything and everything gaming, anime, anything that might interest you as my viewer. Even music, bro. Even music. Also, please make sure to follow Art out in his Twitch channel and his Twitter. And also, please, if you listen to this podcast, you can listen to this podcast on the go. Just search for Search and Report on Spotify. We're also on Anchor FM and any and all of your favorite podcast listening platforms out there. And also, listen and watch the video version of this this podcast over on our YouTube, on my YouTube channel. Not our, I mean, it is yours, because you view the channel, you know, you are a contributor to this channel, so to speak. But just go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel, True Fernie. Really do appreciate it. More videos are on the way. I just need to focus myself. I need to focus on the videos, on the scripts, man. It just takes forever. But yeah, folks, I've been True Fernie. Please take care of each other, but most importantly, take care of yourself. Peace, and I'll be seeing you after E3. It's gonna be a good one. Peace.